A little about me. I was at Google for 6 years through an acquisition of a company called DoubleClick. I worked at Oracle. I have a computer engineering background. I'm spending 15 years focused on data for AI, or ML, or back in the day, data for dashboards, right? And then I've been part of 4 different acquisitions. Really, we're going to talk a little bit about AI data and how that's evolved over time and what it actually means. So these studies continuously change. Gartner has one of their own. I grabbed this one because it was the latest from April 2025. A lot of companies are struggling with this idea of getting their data quote unquote AI ready. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the heck does that mean. We're a relatively small group, so show of hands, how many of us deal with, so first off, how many of us deal with AI in general? All right, cool. Show of hands, how many of us deal with AI data? A lot of the same hands. They're kind of synonymous, right? If you're dealing with AI, you're probably dealing with AI data. Show of hands, how many of us had to label a piece of data, like human intervention in like updating some data so that the AI understands what's going on in the data? So those are all going hand in hand. And really, there's this little bit of a bottleneck, or a little bit of a gap, I should say, between what the experts, what people think AI companies are, and then what AI actually is. So I ripped this off of Matt Turk. Hope he doesn't get offended, but this is kind of one of those ideas. And
can you use the mic?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Let me turn it on.
Testing. Oh, I got to turn it on?
Yeah, that's all.
Forget it. I'm not going to do it if I have to turn it on. So, in an audit we did, this is an example of what companies had to go through in order to get their AI data, their data AI ready, right? So you have to deal with pre-processing, you have to deal with format conversions, you have to deal with file splits, classification checks, custom JSONs. Then you have to actually, for those of us who are blessed to get to work with people reviewing the data, which, let's face it, if you want to make sure the data going into your AI is good, you're probably going to have to do at some stage. You're going to need to set that data up in technology that you can visualize it in. You have to deal with those wizards or those changes that have to happen in the UI or in the API. You have different labels, different attributes, different tasks, different settings. You have to actually get people to do the work, the review. Then you have the feedback loops, the quality control, the subsets, getting better accuracy, and then finally you hit the post-processing, right? And then in the post-processing, you extract, you reformat, you deal with other JSONs, you make sure that the JSON version matches the other version that you had, and then you get to maintain all that fun stuff. So that in a nutshell is what many companies that we're working on, but this one's one in particular. And then those all have life cycles. MLtwist was fortunate to get to be on a webinar with Sandia National Labs where we got to talk about some work we did together. And this is a screenshot from that webinar, which is on our website. And he's talking a little bit about his world. So I showed you a little bit about just that one box. You see it, right? That box number 3 was the previous slide. This is his world. So there's this, again, common understanding of, hey, this is what AI is. And then there's this common understanding about the people who are in AI on what they have to deal with every day. And the reality is there's a lot of different technologies out there that do a lot of great things. So for the purposes of this, we're going to focus on some of the quote unquote labeling stuff going on. You've got your data sourcing. You've got your LLMs that you can turn on to your unstructured data. Hey, identify in this picture of an ocean, where's the boat? Or you have pre-trained models that already know how to do that. They're more specific. You have the labeling technologies that are out there, which are a lot, and they are really good at various different things. And then finally, you kind of have your MLOps platform where all that data should feed into. And you have to fill those gaps. So I'm going to show a study, and I know we have other labeling companies in the audience, so I'm going to preface this with that. I just want you to take one guess at who actually may have published this study. Now, this isn't a knock, right? We all think that our technology is really, really good. The point I'm trying to make here is that there are lots of technologies out there that tackle data prep, and especially data prep for AI that involves human validation. And ourselves at MLtwist, what we've seen is we've actually seen in a case study, the same company using different technologies for different data needs that they have. So multimodal, right? You've got video, you've got audio, you've got three. We got the chance, fortunately, to announce that we're selected to work with the TSA on some 3D data. You've got, of course, PDFs for LLMs. We'll be hearing about Vectara. I'm sure that's going to be a really, really big topic as well. And you have these companies that are trying to figure out, how do you tackle this? How do you go through this question when you're, I don't know, Disney, or you're a toy company, or whoever you are? How do you look at your vast amounts of data and go, hey, what do we need to do to get this stuff AI ready? Do we go with a SaaS platform? Do we go with a services solution, consulting shop? Do we go with open source and we're just going to build it all ourselves? What do we do? I am trying not to make this very salesy, so instead I'm just going to kind of approach the topic and then wrap up. But before closing out, there's these other considerations when it comes to data, because not only do you have to, it's not like back in the day where you just had your pipelines and you were done. The second you bring humans into the loop, it all kind of gets interesting. What about human rights? What about minimum wage? What about people who have to look at really difficult data sets, the graphically difficult data sets? What about versioning? What happens when some labeler works on a set of data and accidentally wipes out the old set because they hit the clear button, but applied some new labels? How do you handle that? These are all things that are coming up in data prep. These are all concepts that all companies around the world who want to leverage AI and get their data quote unquote AI ready are going to end up tackling. Little bit of a case study. We got the chance to work with a company called Bobbity on audio data. Turns out automation does good things, as I'm sure you're all aware. So overall, savings when you have this ability and when you're able to move forward in automating and getting better and better in terms of how this all works, you get to start to do some really impressive things, and you start to get out of the infrastructure and into the quality, right? If there's the biggest challenge data scientists have, or as they say they have, it's the data quality. And the reality is data scientists don't get to spend enough time on the quality because they're just trying to get the thing over to the next, to the finish line. So with that, I promise to keep us on time. How are we doing on time? Quick time check, 3:30, perfect. All right. If anyone has any questions, I'll be around in the audience. Again, my name's David Smith, company's MLtwist. Really, really proud to be here with Vectara. Special shout out. Thank you to Vectara for hosting the event. And I can't wait to hear the rest of the panel and then get to meet all of you in the audience. Thank you. Cheers.